unless I'm out and active, any amount of edibles is just going to put me out. But I've had some real bad times on 200 milligrams and in a plane.
Yeah.
I thought it was like, 200 milligrams is going to let me just sleep. And instead, I was just staring at this guy. I was like, why does this guy look like he pulled a fucking January 6th? Seriously. It was also like right around the same time me and my wife had just come over to DC to like kind of check it out, and we're flying back. The guy had a real tactical looking ass like luggage suitcase backpack thing. I was just like, I don't trust it. I don't trust it.
Tattoo.
Yeah. And
nice.
I'm just like, I'm tripping out. And Sarah's like, she's like, David, I looked at his phone, like he's playing Candy Crush. Like, calm down. I was just like, oh god.
Domestic terrorists get bored too. Come on.
He's on
You know what I mean?
level
Like,
1 million.
You gonna tell me that a white supremacist isn't gonna sit here and like play a couple rounds of Clash of Clans? Like, probably.
All things are class of crime.
All I'm saying is, yeah. Like, how many times have like? I can't tell you how many times I've been like in an online game where it's like everyone seems pretty cool in this, and then everyone just casually starts throwing out slurs. It's like, oh cool, I'm leaving this right now. Like, this is great.
Normal.
Like, this was so cool for 30 minutes, and then all the bullshit starts coming out of people's mouths.
Yeah.
I just wanted to play Warframe, man.
This is the Always More podcast.
Hello, it is April 2nd, and welcome to the Always More podcast, where we believe there's always more room at the table for honest questions, meaningful conversations, and deeper understanding. Today on the pod, we are talking about Hello Eternal, bickering friends, happiness, and so much more. But first, I am your host, the Virgo Planning and University Extraordinaire, Tim, and sitting next to me is my best friend in the whole entire world and zombie apocalypse survival expert, Chris.
Hey.
Also with us is our yeehaw girl and a Kansas world, Harley.
Howdy.
We have the guy who puts the sin in Wisconsin, long haul trucker, and now the great bunghole king, Justin.
You. We're not going to explain that either.
We have the woman the alternative was based upon, Janelle.
Hi.
And returning special guest, the guys whose marketing skills challenged Don Draper, that's Corbett Hoxworth.
Inaccurate, but thank you. Glad to be back.
And first time special guest, the Thunder, Dave. I was going to pronounce it wrong again, Koloroutis.
Yeah, what's going on?
It's David Ludus Koloroutis. You should know this.
Welcome, everyone. Guys, we got ourselves a packed show today. We got two special guests. We got the whole gang together, and this is going to be a special episode. I'm really pumped about this. How are we all doing tonight?
Doing good.
Yeah, pretty solid.
Nothing but vibes over here.
Solid.
Well, hey, Dave and Corbett, how are y'all doing? Our special guests. Is there anything that you would like to introduce yourselves with? Like, give us a quick introduction. Maybe Dave, who are you? What are you about?
Hey, I'm Dave. I play guitar and I do music programming, and boy, that's all I be up to all the time.
Cool.
That's it. I play guitar and I release music under DK Thunder as my solo stuff.
Nice. Very cool.
But that's pretty much like that's all I do. I do that and I hang out with my wife.
Hey, that's all you need.
That's the dream.
That's the dream right there.
Pretty clutch. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's like, oh, life can be this simple and this good. Like, sick.
It's like just doing what I love and hanging out with the woman I love. That's it.
Hard.
Bingo.
Corbett, man, it's been a minute. How you doing?
I'm good. Yeah. So thankful to be back. Thank you. I mean, if you don't know, I'm Corbett. I play the drums in Hello Eternal. And sometimes, I frequent the podcast. No big deal. I'm just kind of like that guy who randomly comes in sometimes, and that's all. No, I'm kidding. I'm Corbett and I play drums. And I live. Oh, hold on. And I live with my beautiful wife, who is my best friend as well.
No, he didn't say it the first time. It doesn't count. He's not actually in love with her because he didn't say it off top.
Damn it.
He had to think about it twice.
Sleeping on the couch. Right.
Yeah.
She's just in the other room taking notes.
Yeah.
Fast.
That woman is minding her
I
business.
knew it.
I promise you.
All right, guys. Well, hey, we got ourselves a great show for y'all today. We're going to spend a lot of time talking about this wonderful new album from Hello Eternal and, of course, talking with Dave and Corbett about that. But first, we all decided that we wanted to just bring up our classic, the original one and only Wreck and Rev.
I would like to
Oh.
point out we didn't all decide. We just kind of let Tim tell us what to do.
Yeah, that's what I meant by that. So at this part of the show, we like to just recommend some things that we're listening to, watching, hearing, smelling, or whatever else. Chris, you're up first.
Yeah, so my Wreck and Rev, as my intro would dictate, is a zombie show.
Of course.
This is on Netflix, super easy to find, amazing show called Happiness, which is counterintuitive to a zombie apocalypse, right? So this is a show kind of set in, at the time it was in the near future. I guess now it would just be now. It was released in 2021, so the near future post-COVID. Set in the near future, a high-rise apartment building has been newly constructed in the big city. The apartment building has residents from diverse backgrounds, but a new infectious disease breaks out. Because of the outbreak, the high-rise apartment is sealed off. The residents struggle to survive while stricken with fear and distrust of others. So this one is a Korean zombie film. And if you know anything about Korean zombie movies and shows and things, in my personal opinion, they do it the best. Train to Busan, top tier.
Mm.
Cannot be beat.
Oh man, that movie is excellent.
So this movie was directed by An Si-ho. It stars, and I'm trying to pronounce these correctly, Han Hyo-ju and Park Hyung-sik. So basically what happens is the COVID virus creates a desire or a need for these pills that are supposed to relieve COVID symptoms, and the pill creates zombies. Sometimes, by accident. It's more like a mad cow disease, but for people, and then it evolves into a zombie disease as time goes on, as long as you have it.
Yeah.
So you get bit, you get scratched, you become a zombie 9 times out of 10. One of the main characters is immune, and they have to kind of figure all of that stuff out. So,
Nice.
pretty interesting. I don't want to spoil anything because I truly believe you should all watch this show.
Cool. I dig. All right, Justin, you're up next, sir.
All right, I got to do today. My first one, Daredevil.
Ooh.
New Daredevil. Been enjoying it quite a bit. I've seen some complaints from some people, like, too slow. There's not enough Daredevil. Too much Matt Murdock. Yeah,
Too
they
much
suck.
man.
All those people. Yeah, they're all terrible. Don't listen to them. They don't understand anything that's good. The show is excellent.
Right.
I have very few complaints about it, and it's been fun. They put out 2 episodes on past Tuesday, a week ago. Once you finally hear this, and they're both great, excellent. Highly recommend watching it. 2 more weeks and it's over. You can binge it. Do that. And my second one is Under Oath is dropping an album tomorrow for us recording. It's past Friday for those listening, called The Place After This One. And Under Oath has been my favorite band for about 21 years now, which is kind of insane to say. But yeah, it's great. It's excellent. I love it. I love everything I've heard. It's progression. It's evolution. It's not stagnant, but it's also still feels like Under Oath, if that makes sense. But yeah, great. I highly recommend it.
Cool. All right. My Wreck and Rev is a movie called A Real Pain. It is a fun movie that it reminds me of me and Chris's relationship. I was actually been trying to get him to watch it for a long time, and he decided not to because he doesn't actually love me.
I love you. I don't like
I'm not
Jesse
doing
Eisenberg.
this right now. I'm not doing this.
It's about a mismatched cousins, David and Benji. They reunite for a tour through Poland to honor their beloved grandmother. The adventure takes a turn when the pair's old tensions resurface against the backdrop of their family history. It's directed by Jesse Eisenberg, starring Jesse Eisenberg and Kieran Culkin, and it is fantastic. It is one of my favorite. I don't know if you even call it a drama, but it's filled with excellent writing. It's like you know how like there's actors that just like play themselves and they do it all the time. These guys are playing themselves in the most amazing way, and the interactions between them remind me of my relationship with Chris, but in a wonderful, beautiful way. They know how to bicker, but they also know how to be really close. And of course, there's a deep, dark tone underneath all this, but it is so well written, so well directed. I was really impressed by Eisenberg. And highly recommend it if you're looking for a good like buddy film.
For the record, we don't have a deep, dark undertone in our relationship that I'm aware of.
Well, I'm waiting to tell you, bub.
I'll talk to you about it later. He was
Y'all.
texting me earlier. How do I talk to Tim about this?
Much later and
Is it-
after I go to bed.
Is
I'm
it,
not doing this.
is it because I'm black?
No.
You'll find out later.
It is. Yeah, that's 100% what it is, Chris. You're right.
Thanks, Dave. Yeah,
What's
at least I got
your
some
beef
kind of
with
validation.
Take it
Jesse
anymore.
Eisenberg?
What was that?
I'm like, what's your beef with Jesse Eisenberg?
Weirdly enough, it's the thing that Tim likes about him. I don't like actors that play the same character every time. And he is always the same. Like, his Lex Luthor was just his Facebook guy.
Yeah, social network.
something- It was the same
But
guy.
it turns out that Mark Zuckerberg is actually kind of Lex Luthor. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, he's doing the same stuff, but Lex Luthor at least like has a dramatic flair.
We just haven't gotten there yet. And give it
Zuckerberg
3
is
more
just a
years,
lizard
and he'll
person.
fully evolve into his Super Saiyan God mode. And you'll see.
Just you wait.
Fair enough.
Just
I
you
do,
wait, buddy.
I do really like Kieran Culkin though.
Yeah, he's great.
So
Yeah,
I've been.
he's great.
I'm not gonna make this into a twofer, but I have been watching Succession lately, and it is
Great.
Oh my god, so great. Okay,
Okay.
Harley, it is your turn.
Hello.
We hear ya.
Okay.
there you go.
It works. So I wanted to start off by saying that I feel like Corbett looks like Charlie Cox from Daredevil.
I'll take it.
I thought that was just immediately going to turn into a roast session, and I was
No,
ready for it.
it's
I was
like
ready.
genuine. I feel like they look alike. They have similar
No,
features.
I see it. I see it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just
That's my red
black
Daredevil.
your sunglasses for a little bit, give him a cane, he'll be all set.
I'm really agile. Kick a lot of ass. Kick a lot of names.
He's
Yeah.
also a top-notch lawyer.
And y'all don't know it, but I'm blind. I can hear really well, though. Kind of like a bat.
He's
Kinda
been blind
situation.
this whole time.
It's the glasses.
If you want to understand my worldview or the way I see the world, the way I experience it, there's a movie that really, I think it's 2002. Ben Affleck's in it, Colin Farrell. It's called Daredevil. That's really. It's actually, what's his Charlie Cox? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in a similar thing going on.
Oh,
Right now.
He's in a remake, right?
No, it's a little different. Yeah, it's good.
Oh,
That was a really strong bit.
You gotta commit to the bit,
Really
David.
got me into that
That
one.
was really strong.
You gotta
Committed.
commit, man.
Lean as hard in as you can.
If-
Bro,
If we're being
you
honest-
were putting structural damage on the wall that you were leaning on.
If we're being 100% honest, I think the first time I ever met Corbett, he committed so hard to a bit that I was like, I like this guy.
I know what you're talking.
Yes, I do own this place.
That was good. That was good. Okay. Anyways,
Sorry.
N Rev. Now that season 2 has officially wrapped up last week, 2 weeks ago when this episode comes out, I'm not doing good. We're not all doing great with this timeline. Severance.
Oh,
Anybody? Anybody?
yes.
I'm recently
I haven't
unemployed, so
been.
I'm not in the headspace for it, but I
Oh.
want to watch it.
This
oh
real.
my god.
It's. I'm on Severance TikTok now,
Yes.
and I'm losing
Yes.
my mind. There's so much. Just really good. Big
I'm gonna start
fan.
sending you stuff now. Yes.
I feel like I need to rewatch all of it again. Actually,
Amen.
I feel like I've learned so much that I need to. Yeah. So it's a doozy, but it's so good. I mean, do I even need to talk about what it's about? I think everybody knows. Actually, I think it's better if we don't say anything. Go in
Just
there
into it
blind.
Okay,
Just watch it.
I just want to say that like I feel like that's the problem with the show is that like everyone's like, yo, it's fucking gas. Like you gotta hop in on this. And I'm like, what is it about? Like, can you say anything about it?
And they're just like, you'll see.
Nah, it'll ruin it. It's
You'll
like,
learn.
bro, you can't tell me anything.
No, okay, but that's the other thing is like you can say stuff. Like I literally saw this video where somebody put like 7 different scenes, like key things from different scenes, and somebody in the comments was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
crazy how this doesn't spoil the show at all.
Yeah, it is so out there, just like all over the
Yes.
place.
So I watch a lot of anime, and one of my favorite things is seeing the memes about it, where it's like zero context. This is it. If you've seen the
Yeah.
episode, you know exactly what's happening. But
Yeah.
if you don't,
Yeah.
you're so lost. It doesn't
Yeah.
spoil anything.
Yeah.
I love stuff
Oh,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, like Yamcha pose doesn't really spoil anything about Dragon Ball Z.
Right, right.
But it's essentially just like, the guy, the main character, his name's Mark, and he
Marcus.
works at this building called Lumen, this company, and he works on the severed floor, which means he has like 2 persons in his mind? Question mark.
Like his consciousness is divided into 2, right?
Yeah.
One
Yeah.
has to go to work and one doesn't. Is that it? Like,
Yeah, and so like his work person is
like-
known as just Mark S, and it's an entirely different person than his outside, and they call them outies and they call them innies, and then
belly buttons.
it goes from there. Belly buttons, yes.
Here's my thing on all of that. Like thinking about 2 different people. The work you doesn't know what's happening to the outside of work you, and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Work you has a crush on somebody that you work with. Non-work you doesn't know that. So non-work you is married.
Mm-hmm.
Work
Oh,
you
shoot.
sleeps with that person and you get an STD.
Homie.
Non-work you
You can
Chris
just wakes
STDs
up with an
consciously,
STD.
like through your like a
What's
conscious.
happening?
You need to watch this show, Chris. I'm
Chris,
telling you.
I don't know
right
how to
now.
tell you
You're
this,
the one that
but
told
you've
me
just
you can't watch it if
made
you're
a
in a
plot
bad mental
point.
place.
Yeah.
Tim told
That
me
is a
that
part
I
of the
shouldn't watch
plot.
it until I'm in a good place.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I see that. I can see where that's fascinating. Yeah.
And it's just
And you
But
don't
there's
absolutely
more.
hate your
I
job,
think I can
so
do
you'll
it.
be able to enjoy it.
Yeah.
If you hate your job, it might push you over the edge.
it really.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
that's
sure.
another part of the show is
Yeah.
actually a character doesn't like their job and wants to leave, but their outie says, "You have to stay.
Yeah.
I
So that I
don't
don't have to
approve
work."
your resignation."
There's my secret though. I hate every job. Doesn't matter what the
What's your
job
business
is.
I'm
preference?
I don't
always
want to be
angry.
doing this shit.
Yeah, who wants to work?
That's good stuff.
Right.
Yeah, and Ben Stiller's been directing like half this episodes, I think, and it's just it's just solid.
Nigga, what?
Yeah.
Ben
He's like the
Stiller?
main producer behind it, right?
Yeah,
he created
yeah,
it.
him and Adam Scott.
Zoolander.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
The
There you
guy
go.
from
That
Night
is
at
a
the
movie.
Museum.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking Gaylord Fokker.
Yeah.
I can't right now. I can't.
Amazing.
With,
What a
I'm,
great
I,
movie.
nope,
Yes.
I'm not watching it. I can't do it.
No, I shouldn't have said that.
I love Ben Stiller, but like
you don't
I
even know which
cannot
ones.
imagine him directing.
He's not in it.
Yeah, he's not in it. You won't see him.
You don't see him. No, I
Yet.
didn't even know he was in
Yet.
it until after I had seen a few episodes. It's fantastic.
Yet
Yeah.
he's an actor at heart. He will make a cameo.
No,
I promise.
I don't think so.
Mhm.
no, he trust me, not in this one. All right, we got to move this thing along. Dave, what do you have for us, friend?
Oh no. I made a mistake.
Oh no.
You take.
I've got a couple of things. No.
Oh.
First thing I want to recommend dropout.tv. I don't know if anyone knows about this.
No.
That's
Um,
the college humor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Precisely.
I
so
love
College
it.
Humor became Dropout.
Brennan Lee
and,
Mulligan is one of my heroes in life.
Yeah. Basically, yeah, it's one of the main things that's gotten me into D&D, and like through that, I was like, cool, I'm gonna go ahead and like host my own D&D campaigns. Why not? Fuck it. But also just improv stuff, Make Some Noise and Game Changer are 2 of the funniest shows that I
Love
get to
Game
watch on a
Changer.
daily basis. And Dropout TV is $6 a month. Like it's one of the cheapest subscription services, and they don't do anything about password sharing, so you can share it with as many people that you
Ooh.
want. Like they are very clutch, and they are one of the few companies also that like Siobhan Thompson is one of the people that goes there. She writes for Rick and Morty.
Oh.
Dropout.tv is the only company that called. It was like, hey, are you okay during the fires?
Oh, wow.
You know, it's like that, like to know that they're a company that cares that much, that they are working towards equity with everyone that they employ at the time. Like they're giving everyone a chance. They're never taking shows down off of the platform. Like a lot of things that they're committed to. That's just like, this is streaming done the correct way. And I can only support it as much as I can. So highly recommend that for if you want some good giggles and you want some scary D&D stuff. Really cool campaigns in there. My second recommendation is go into hardcore shows. Just
Hell
go
yeah.
to a hardcore show. Go to any show. But
Honestly, I
for
miss
sure,
hardcore shows.
go to a hardcore show.
Yeah.
I'm
The thing-
unfamiliar.
You're unfamiliar?
Yeah.
Let me tell you the things that should make a really good hardcore show. A fairly decent number of people, but there doesn't need to be a lot. There needs to be a lot of good two-stepping.
I know what that means.
There needs to be people
not the
putting the mic into the crowd and as many people trying to grab it out of that person's hands as possible to scream words back into it.
I think we have two different versions of what two-stepping is.
Yeah, probably,
Yes,
but
yes,
you're
we
gonna
do.
you're
Yeah,
gonna
yes, we
learn
do.
today.
Harley used to work at a country bar, so very different. Very different.
And the thing is, it's almost not different at all. Whenever you see enough people two-stepping at a hardcore show and you see it from a high enough angle, you go, yeah, that's just line dancing.
Just not in a straight line, you know.
It comes back, yeah.
Valid point.
The thing that I will recommend against, I don't know if y'all have ever had that happen, but
No.
I recommend against push pits.
Yeah.
Don't start a push pit.
No, yep.
Don't
do
don't
that.
do that.
Don't be that.
I have
guy.
now, after coming back from the Trejo show up in Boston, that's all that people were doing. And it made me so upset. I was like, I almost didn't enjoy the show at all because pushing people just makes waves happen in the crowd. Hardcore dancing, even crowd killing, like there is a circle made for people that want to participate in it. The people that do not want to participate are outside of it and safe. Like it's easier to take care of people whenever you're doing like actual hardcore dancing. Push pits are out. 2025. If you see someone push pitting, elbow them in the back of the head.
Side note, Dave, have you seen the mosh pits at the Wiggles shows?
The what?
What? Yeah, so as you're aware, the Wiggles is a children's show.
I was.
He doesn't have kids.
However,
kind of familiar with that.
you don't need to know about the Wiggles at all.
Yeah.
It means nothing to you. But the parents of kids that watch the Wiggles are our age, and they're almost exclusively hardcore show parents. So at any Wiggles show across the world, there's almost 100% chance that there will be a mosh pit to fruit salad.
Open this shit up.
The song goes fruit salad, yummy, yummy. And the pit just goes crazy. There are people running around and like spin kicking and like clawing. It's insane. But it's at the Wiggles.
After throwing a couple of spin kicks at the last Counterpart show, I can't recommend spin kicking enough. And to that part, my last recommendation for music is Counterparts.
Yeah, that was on my list.
Oh no!
I can make a pivot. I can make a pivot.
I mean, we can all recommend Counterparts.
Yeah. I don't think anybody can't. I'll be honest. I've only gotten into them this last year. I don't know why I missed the boat on them.
Same, dude.
But
yeah, me too.
Yeah. I discovered them and I went back to like the difference between Hell and Home, and I got into that album right after my buddy Tackett passed away, and then right after and Keith passed away about a month after that. So to have the song Decay enter my life, the lyrics behind that song, I think Brendan Murphy is a brilliant writer who has fully embraced the hurt in his life to be able to write extremely well.
Yeah.
I think there is some damage that comes with that, and there's like a part that's just like, oh yeah, like I can see not wanting to do that forever and wanting to make a change. A Eulogy for Those Still Here is one of the saddest albums I think I've ever heard, but it came to me in a very good time in my life when I needed to externalize the feelings that were coming up because of that stuff. So yeah, can't recommend that enough. Also, to that part, End. I don't know if y'all have explored End at all. His side project with Will Putney.
No, but I will now.
Let's see here. Necessary Death is one of the hardest songs I've ever heard in my life.
If you're gonna name it that,
yeah. What is it? No martyrs, no casualties, only necessary death to facilitate the process of natural selection.
oh my god.
With this final act of coercion, I will convince the doom to rise and ignite the final spark that will engulf and cloak mankind. Redemption swept from underneath their feet. No savior could save me. It's a hard song. It's crazy, like how like brutal and that whole thing is great. The new EP from Counterparts, Heaven Let Them Die, is brilliant. The music video, it's all really good. I recommend heavy music.
That EP it gave me the same feeling as when Knocked Loose dropped the surprise dropped that one EP. I'm blanking on the name.
Oh,
the red cover.
Tearing the Fabric of Reality? Or Tearing the Fabric of Life? Is that what it is?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. When they surprise dropped that, it was like it hit in such a crazy way.
Yeah. Knocked Loose is amazing, and I'm really excited for the world that's coming to catch up with them.
Yeah.
Like I think they are the next Slipknot. In like levels of like a heavy band that's massively popular. That's Knocked Loose is going to fill that slot.
Wow.
That's it.
Solid.
Nice, man.
Like it.
Well, thank you, man. Hey, dude, thanks for all that. That's great stuff. Corbett, my guy, you're last.
All right. I got some goodies.
Crowbat.
Crowbat. Fuck off. No, okay. Okay. So last time I was on here, I mentioned that and Justin, you're gonna roll your eyes at this because it is a Ghost song. I love Ghost. I like Ghost. They're a great band. Some people freaking hate that band, and I get it. It's like shock rock, like Kiss almost, which is very left field for me. But they just dropped a song. You ready for the name of it? Satanize. And
that makes sense. Yeah,
it's so great. But it's all about how like the concept for the song is essentially it's like a monk, like or a believer or someone who's like dedicated their life to Christ back in think like Benedictine monk, like way back 1500s or something. And they are dealing with very natural human emotions, things like lust. They feel like they're in love with someone and they can't stop thinking about the person. And they're like, well, I must be possessed by a demon because that's like the natural biblical, that's
what my mom said.
What else could it be?
Oh my God. I'm so sorry. But yeah, it's great. It's just absolutely saturated in religious imagery and satire, and it's pretty great. And then I will say 2 more bands. Speed. Go listen to Speed.
Gang called
Speed, man. Speed is nasty.
There's the best thing about it. Speed isn't a band. Speed is a gang.
Speed is a gang. Yes, dude.
That's the hardest thing about it.
Dude, go to a Speed show. If they come into town, go to a Speed show. Vanna, because I can say that Vanna's a band again.
Yeah.
Huge stoke.
OG Vanna being back together made me so happy.
I'm curious because we have multiple people in here. Did you get to hear In Spirit, Justin?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So like,
good.
It must have just been a legal battle, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, I never heard anything about it, but that seems to be like what it was. If you name your band In Spirit, have all the original members drop like an EP and then a single, disappear that band for a minute, and then you get to do the 15-year reunion.
I have a thought that they probably didn't realize, or they probably didn't think as many people wanted them back. And I think that they probably were like, let's just do this under a new band. And then they did the 15-year.
I do wonder how many people, how do I phrase this? Davey Moise turned me off of Vanna so bad.
Yes.
Oh, dude.
I did not like his writing at all. And like
like
whatever direction the band went after he came in, and then they lost Evan too.
Yeah,
I was like,
and their last album too. I never resonated with me.
Yeah.
I love Chris Priest's writing.
Dude,
Yeah.
I just love that. I love Chris Priest.
Yeah. Good dude.
Last rec, The Righteous Gemstone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Uncle Baby Billy.
I haven't
Mama
watched
told
a
me not
full
to.
episode,
I
but
did
I've
it
seen
anyway.
clips of it. Josh, actually, Saffron decided to recommend that to me, and because
Dude, it's so good.
he recommended it, I can't bring myself to watch it.
I would absolutely recommend just like smoking a fat joint and then watching that.
I was literally
That's
gonna
actually my
text
rec.
y'all in the group chat and be like, "Hey,
Watch this show.
y'all gotta get
It's
on."
Well, if
fucking
Harley said
hilarious.
so.
If
Harley says it, we're in.
Harley recommends it, I'm watching it
Yeah.
tomorrow. Like that's it.
It's
That's
so good.
sold.
So
Actually, I'm
Severance
gonna
2?
leave and start watching it.
Period.
It's so
Right
good.
now.
Danny McBride, Walter Goggins, what's his name? Adam Devine, and just like a stacked. Oh, John Goodman. John Goodman's
Yeah.
in
John
it.
Goodman.
It's really
Oh
good.
yeah, right.
Really, really good.
Love it.
Okay,
It's
that's
so
my
funny.
stuff.
Awesome. All right, guys.
Listen to that.
I feel bad because I initially didn't think Janelle was going to be joining us, so I forgot to include her in this record rap. So, Janelle, you are last here.
She
I
jumped in
apologize.
last minute. Don't feel bad.
I did, and also I was getting spring rolls, so I'm okay.
Noise.
Take it away.
Priorities. I respect that.
Literally.
Yeah.
Okay. My Rec and Rev, I think I'm a little late on this. I don't know when this came out, 2024. But my Rec and Rev is simply titled Martha. It's the Martha Stewart documentary.
Oh.
Has anyone seen it?
Whoa.
I caught the
That
tail
came
end
out
of
not
it when
that
you were
long ago. It
watching
was
it.
like 4 months ago.
Yeah, not too long ago.
Yeah.
So told in her own words, this candid documentary charts the unstoppable rise, sudden fall, and hard-won comeback of lifestyle icon Martha Stewart.
Hell yeah.
I'm down for Martha Stewart, man. Like,
Yeah, same.
she's fucking with Snoop.
heard
I'm
it.
fucking with
I
her.
know.
Well, and they go into
Dude,
like
I
how
wanna
they
see
became
hers.
friends.
Oh, I love that.
But
So
she
is
handed
it
over.
like an hour long or like episodes?
It's
The series?
a film.
No, it's
Oh.
it's a one shot.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is how long is it? An hour and 56 minutes.
Okay. It's got a good length.
Yeah, so it goes into, where she grew up, how she got into her career, where she worked before she was a lifestyle icon, how she was the first influencer, essentially. The criticism she got from the media being a woman and like being a beautiful woman at that, and how they did her dirty.
If we're being honest, I believed all the anti Martha Stewart hype when I was
Yeah.
younger.
Yeah,
Just
Well, yeah, same. When I
we
was
all.
younger.
I think all of us did because of our shared
society hates
environment.
women. It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so especially whenever they look like they're put together.
She can still get it. If we're being honest.
I know.
TBH,
Seriously.
I have
Dude,
no
man.
idea what
You
happened.
telling me that's a woman standing by herself on that platform?
Dude.
I don't trust it.
Nah.
They go into like
I'm a smart man and I don't trust it. Fucking nightmare, dude.
yeah,
Yeah.
they go into like her struggles in her marriage and all this stuff. And it's really funny because at one point she's like, if your husband cheats on you, he's a piece of shit and you should leave him. And then the interviewer is like, didn't you have an affair first? And she's like, that was with an
Slam dunk.
incredibly attractive Irishman. What a stupid question. Like,
Oh, what a great
it's
answer.
not that harsh. It's not that harsh, but like she's like, it wasn't that big of a deal. Like, why would you ask
She
me
said,
that?
"Mind your fucking
But
business."
She like handed over all of these like really intimate like letters between her and her husband, a bunch of other things. It was pretty intense, and how like she was the first like woman billionaire, I think.
Oh, I didn't realize she was a billionaire.
I
I mean,
think
makes
so. I'm pretty sure. And she just came from like a poor family in Jersey.
Oh wow. Dude,
Yeah,
she's awesome.
Sure
she is.
Girl.
You should watch it. It's really good.
Cool.
Oh,
All right, guys. Well, hey, thank you all for your recommendations today. But hey, we are about to transition into our main conversation for today. Do not go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to talk about Hello Eternal. Be right back, guys. All right, everyone. Welcome back. Thank you for that quick little break. And thank you guys for your recommendations. Chris, I'm excited for you to watch Severance since Harley has deemed it worthy to watch. So
I'll get there when I get there.
You'll get there. Guys, I've been really stoked for this because I know a little, I guess, I don't think I think I'm allowed to say this, but Corbett kind of divulged a little bit about what was going on behind the scenes back when he was first on our show about this album and everything that was going on. And ever since then, I've been super stoked and super excited to kind of hear the result of it. And this album that just released and what this means to the whole band is truly heartwarming and impactful and deep and meaningful. And so today, guys, we're going to talk to Corbett and Dave about this album, The Goodbyes We Never Get, and talk about Hello Eternal. And so as we dive into this, Corbett and Dave, I wanted you guys to first maybe discuss where this all began, what the origins were, what this means to you guys, and how this has, how this kind of rose up.
it's a where to begin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Dave,
could I guess we could roll that all the way back to the start.
Yeah. Maybe we can give a quick how it started, and then like obviously the
All right.
brought us back together, I guess.
All right. Quick rush through the story. I'm in a band. It's bad. We get better. We get better by adding a guy named Scott in on drums. That's actually Tyler. We play in that band for a while. We're like, hey, we want to be even better than this. We need another guitarist. It's like, hey, do you guys know this guy named Keith? And it's like, yeah, what? Keith plays guitar? Like, what? Okay, so we bring him in. He kicks ass.
So much ass.
We kick so much ass. Everyone leaves for college except for me. I do other loser stuff that's playing in another band. About a year after that here's where I'll actually slow the story down. So Tyler and Keith were working on some like post-hardcore music like after the band and like throughout, I think, like first year of college for them. I was in a band and it didn't quite work out. I wanted to do something a little bit heavier, and I think I started going to church at Faith Temple around that time, and I ended up talking with Tyler. Who's like, hey, I've been writing some like heavier stuff, and he's like, yo, I've got Keith in on this, like let's see if we can try to run all this together. It's like, well, who else are we going to get in on the band?
Yep. And I was like 15 or 16, and y'all know Sam. Well, some of y'all know Sam Ballou. He's one of my oldest friends. He plays bass, and he's just like a musical genius.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, that's when Tyler was like, they could probably, I mean, they don't suck anymore. We weren't in like 8th grade, we were in 10th grade. So that's when we stepped in and to try and like fill out the sound and play heavy, because we were the band prior to that. Tyler, Dave, Keith, they were in a band.
Yeah, Winter by Default was a straight up pop punk band with like we would do a breakdown every now and then, but nothing crazy.
It was good though. It was really good. It was like pop punk with like some angst. It reminded me a little bit of like old Brand New, a little bit.
Yeah, probably like your favorite Weapon. Brand New is. I was very into like Rancid by the end of that band, so I don't know why.
Absolutely. Yeah. so that's how it all started. We were a band for only like 2 years, and it was like my junior and halfway through my senior year of high school, and Sam as well, and Keith was in college. Dave, were you?
I was still in. I was in Colleen.
I was gonna say, yeah, you were in Colleen.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then,
I was just working full time at Guitar Center.
That's right. Yep. Thanks for renting out those cymbals for our first recording. I remember that.
Yeah.
And then my brother was at a school in Dallas, and so we would get together whenever we could. But dude, we didn't practice, man. We got together, we played shows. We would like sometimes like we would write together, but we never. I can't remember one time that we all got together and we're like, all right, let's do a practice and just go through our set. Anytime we were together, it was that's where we would write mostly. And then we played some like really cool shows, man. We played with like Skylit Drive, Memphis Mayfire, the O Sleeper, Son of the Morning CD release.
I lost my toenail at that show.
Oh, sorry, dude. Yeah.
I'm sorry. What?
O Sleeper show?
Did you not know that? Yeah,
you lost your
when you guys played with O Sleeper,
like you had the slide off toenail thing.
I had to get it surgically removed after that show.
Wait,
it happened during
it grew back.
It happened during the Wall of Death.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was
I think that one was a Skylit Drive.
Was
it was at the same place. It was at the same place.
It was the same place. Yeah,
No, it was O Sleeper because I was bummed.
It was the art ambush in Waco, wasn't it?
Yes, it was O Sleeper.
We played a lot of shows there.
It was O Sleeper.
Yeah,
yeah, because I think O Sleeper had their Wall of Death for that set.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, sorry.
Yeah.
Actually,
that's crazy.
I didn't get to make that show because I had set myself on fire.
Oh,
anyways,
what?
As you did.
What? What were you guys doing?
I got caught in the mosh pit.
Look, man, it was 2010 in
Yeah.
Colleen, Texas,
a long
partner.
time
Like, I
ago.
don't know what
themselves
the.
on fire.
If you're not having babies in 2010, you're setting yourself on fire. You're getting knocked unconscious or losing a toenail at a hardcore show. Like, crazy stuff happened.
Yeah, take a pic.
Yeah.
I was a baby.
The counterculture.
I could have been doing drugs. I wasn't.
So you're welcome.
But after that all died down, like we broke up on not the best terms. A lot of confusion, a lot of things left unsaid. We all went our separate ways.
We were playing like 2 shows a month.
That's a lot.
With like a lot of travel time in between for a lot of the guys. And not only that, but like Corbett and Sam still being in high school, like trying to get that shit sorted out. We just like pushed ourselves really hard. Like by the end of the show or by the end of the band, I was like, I don't want to listen to hardcore ever again.
Yeah.
Like I think I'm done with screaming music. I am ready to walk away.
I think everyone kind of felt that to a degree where it was like, it's not that I don't love it and I'll keep listening to maybe the old stuff, but like I don't want to be in the scene anymore. I feel like the best thing I had going for me, the thing I enjoyed the most in my life is gone now. So I got to keep, I almost didn't allow myself to really think about it too much because it hurt too much that it ended because we were on such a steep and upward trajectory so fast that I felt like we just like to Dave has said this before, like we clipped our own wing is what it felt like.
Yeah.
Then there was like 15 years of nothing said between most of us. Sam was in my wedding. I connected with him here and there, but we weren't talking as frequently as we do now. We talk all the time now, and I'm so dearly grateful for that. But yeah, it was kind of like, I think in my mind and most of our minds, it was, man, am I playing this up as like something that was bigger than it was? Maybe this was just special to me. And then hearing, 15 years later that it meant the whole world to every one of us. It was great, but yeah, that's kind of what brought us to, what brought us back together is obviously, tragedy. Keith passed. Dave, do you want to talk a little bit about that? Because I know there was also some events that led up to that, even with Tackett.
Yeah, and if you don't mind, just telling us about Keith in general, just kind of really diving into him.
We could talk about him all day.
Yeah.
Go, Dave. Go. Yeah.
Dude.
Oh.
God, dude.
Mhm.
Keith was like as a person, like honestly, like I don't know. He showed every range available. You know, I saw him really happy. I've seen him pissed. I've seen him like upset. Like like he didn't hold back anything. He was because he was like just wanted to be upfront. Like I feel like that was a really true desire of his was to like I'm not gonna like candy coat anything. Like I'm gonna be very straight with you, but it's because of how much he cared.
Mhm.
But like honestly, one of the like kindest people I've been around. And except when you get him joking, and then he's gonna rip you up.
Oh,
uh,
roast.
he'll roast you bad. Uh, like it's I don't know. The main thing I can think of with Keith. It's the reason why I chose this as the picture. I know doing video stuff for a podcast is really great work. But there's this picture that we have that's on the back of the record that we made stickers of from a promo photo shoot. And it's just this look that he has his arms crossed and he has like a slight smile on, but he kind of looks like he's judging you a little bit.
But he accepts you.
He's like, you're cool, but come on, man. Like there's something about that that I always felt within our friendship. He was always pushing to try to make everyone like within the band better, to be more focused, to be more concentrated. Like he's the guy that got me thinking like, oh, I should probably like go to school for music so I could actually learn how to approach this as a business instead of just like trying to throw whatever at a wall and seeing if that works.
He was, and he was so there was so much nuance and like so many deep layers to him. But the thing that was so cool is once you were in his circle, he first off fiercely loyal, one like the definition of friend,
Yeah.
unchangingly consistent in every aspect. And it's like what you see is what you get, even though there is all of this nuance. It was like this beautiful balance of like, dang, that's what a person should be. It's like I think of just like perfect balance. And he was not perfect, no, he's a human, but man, like he's the kind of guy that I feel like I felt better when he was around because I felt like everything's going to be okay. Um, and he's just left such a tremendous void, I think, in everyone's heart because he took up so much space in our hearts. Because to be uh, to be one of the people that he chose to like call family was like one of the I think the biggest like badges of honor. Everyone felt honored to be his friend, to be considered a friend of Keith because he wasn't the kind of person that was, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but like he wasn't just like, yeah, I'm friends with everyone. Like
He was a very reserved person.
yeah, served. He
He
could
like
fucking shred. Oh my god, he was so good at guitar.
yeah, as a guitarist, like yeah, clean, consistent, like the techniques that he applied to his guitar work that like when we would compare with like the other bands that we were playing with in the scene, like I could be like, oh, that's why Keith's stuff sounds better because I can see all the tone choices that this other person is making that like when Keith does something that's similar, it's like, oh, that's why that works better. So like it's not just that he was just good at the action of playing guitar. Like he had a musical mind that was like,
Awareness.
no, I know the tone that I want to have and I know the feel that this thing has to have. Like he wrote things in a way that like demanded a respect for how you played it. And especially like going back and like learning a lot of those parts for the record, like since I had to retrack the guitars, like learning the guitar parts he made, uh it's crazy. Like it's just like like seeing what he was having to play during a song when I had my own part that I had to know, right? Like is it like opened my mind. I was like, oh oh, whoa, you were really good. Like, because it's the little nuanced things like of not having shrill feedback come through, like little palm mutes and like super sudden cutoffs. Like because back in 2009, we weren't recording with like super detail going in, cropping, editing, all this stuff. It was just raw data going straight into the computer with some processing afterwards, but like we weren't getting edits done to our stuff. He played like a fully edited like record take,
dude.
just all the time.
He was so good.
Corbett,
He was so good.
you said something earlier in one of the interviews that you gave that you felt like he was kind of like the through line of the band. Is that kind of a common sentiment between everyone and just kind of the backbone in a sense?
Yes,
I would say for sure. Like I said, like the business sense came from him. I think a lot of sound came from him. Like the best songs that we wrote for sure, like were coming from his ideas. And
I think so. It was like he was on a different level. It was like he was okay. Man, I don't know why this is the comparison that comes to my mind. Y'all are about to be like, what are you talking about? Y'all know Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese?
Yeah.
You've seen the difference in them play basketball? That's the difference between like Keith and like the average person our age. You're talking about someone who is it's almost like he was in flow state. He was in perfect balance, perfect harmony. He knew how much to try, how much not to try. He knew, he was the comfortability that he had. It was as if it was just oozing out of him, and it was just like second nature. Like, have you ever seen someone do something so well that you're like, oh, as good as you are at that, that's what it means to be a master at something. That's what it was like when Keith picked up a guitar and played. And I remember always feeling like I'm in a band with the best guitarist. So that feels really cool.
And I'm sure it motivated y'all to be better.
Yeah, no, but he was the through line, man. Even whenever it comes to like when we all get together, we would just get rowdy. Obviously, I was 15, 16, Keith was 20 maybe. So he was having to put up with my immature bullshit.
And I'm just an animated bastard.
Yeah. We're just having a good old time. But Keith was always the one that was like, he was keeping everything on track, even if we were just like, guys, come on. Let's make use of the time we have.
The professionality at shows of like, hey, like we all did the show and like we did whatever we were supposed to do. That's great. Like we should go talk to the owner of the venue or the bar and like say, hey, thank you for letting us come and play here. We hope we can do it again. Like, let's make rapport. Let's
go hang out with the other bands. Let's go thank you for coming out. Yeah. Because everyone's just like, oh, we're rock stars. Like, let's just go hang and just like,
and be in our own corners. Like, now we're gonna go
be good people.
Like it's part of. I don't know. Like, I feel like Keith was the least connected to the like hardcore aesthetic of it, but he was probably had like the best hardcore mentality of like, here's the work that we have to put in. We have to build a community. We have these parts to do. And that's something that, granted, he wasn't able to participate in because he lived in San Marcos at the time. But any opportunity he did have, he was fully taking advantage of that.
Yeah.
I think it's just that a lot of our opportunities ended up more in North Texas. But I'm sure if we had ended up down San Marcos or Austin at any point during any of our plays, like that would have been a lot of his weight being pulled up into there.
Yeah, I hope that answers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, what was the question again?
Did you like Keith?
Pretty cool dude.
Pretty cool dude all in that. Yep.
Well, that's actually perfect. I wanted to talk about them because obviously this album is really for him, I think, or at least it is inspired obviously by him. And so I wanted to ask you guys before we dive too much into the details and all the nitty-gritty of the album itself, how would you describe this album? If it was a word or a sentence or maybe a central theme, if it was coming out of your mouth, giving it to the most important aspect to you, what would you consider it to be?
What's your album's elevator pitch?
I think Dave, you want to go first, or do you got one?
I mean, honestly, it's the reason why I really resonated with the phrase "the goodbyes we never get." Like it's like the moment that phrase kind of sat on me, it was like, yeah, because it's the, like I had said, my friend Doggett had passed away about a month beforehand, and like that guy was the best. Like I also, for anybody that's still in Texas, Obsidian Brewery in Leander, that's his bar and brewery that's being run by his wife and partner and everything now. Please go check it out.
I love that.
Yeah. Good. Thank God. Because I'm so sad that I haven't been able to go out there.
I know.
When Doggett passed, like that was a huge gut punch, and then to lose Keith like right after that, I had just touched base with Keith about like 2 days before Doggett had passed away, where I just messaged him on Facebook. It was no idea if he was going to message back, but I was just like, hey man, why were you so fucking good back then? It's like, I've been running back through these songs, like why were you so good? And he sent me this beautiful message reply back, and just like where he was like, yo, I really value those memories and those times, and like it really meant a lot to me to be able to do that stuff with you guys. Like, and yeah, it was just like, that's awesome. And then losing Doggett hurt in a way where like I shut down and it was like, okay, I'm not going to talk about anything that I want to do. Like, but I, at Doggett's memorial, I see Sam, so I reconnect with him for the first time. That means I talk with Corbett, and then I end up talking with Tyler, who me and him kind of had a falling out at the end of Hello Eternal, so we kind of mended over some things. And it was like, okay, so now like maybe we do want to do this, and I know this is something we've all been talking about, but it's like we've never really been able to fully establish, like, hey, are we all cool enough to do a reunion project? Okay, I think we are. All right, I'm gonna reach out to Keith. And the weekend I was gonna do it is the weekend he went to the hospital, and the weekend he passed away. So it really, like, God, fuck, that hurts. God, like that phrase sucks. And that's it's just one of those feelings of like, oh, cool, this only sucks, and there's nothing outside of that feeling. It's yeah, so it's just like, you know, if I knew this was going to be my last conversation with you, I would have said a lot more. I would have taken a lot more time. But it's, you know, that's the tragedy part of it, is that you never know. So it's
Goodbyes never get.
Yep.
Yeah, I think super well said, man. Yeah, man, that super resonates with me because I didn't reach out to Keith because I don't know, I maybe thought he was mad at me or something, and I just wanted to give him space, and it's just such a deep regret. And I think that's honestly, we put 150% of everything we had into every detail of this record. The stuff that people will never notice, we meticulously revised, whether it be the creative direction or whether it be, you know, the sonic, you know, from a sonic perspective, or lyrics that we tweaked. So for me, whenever I think about like Elevator, what is this record? I would say this is a record for anyone who's lost someone and didn't get a chance to say goodbye. This is for you. Yeah, that's it for me. And I remember when Dave first, because there's a song on the album called Memory of You, and it's actually one of like the first songs we ever wrote, and it's got a long story that, you know, we Dave did a great job on a little short documentary that we did, and we can let y'all know, and y'all can link that if y'all want. It'll color in some of the additional space that we're not able to get to today, like on that track particularly.
For sure.
How far it goes back, but that was a song that when it went through a few different variations of names for a while. It was like The Goodbyes We Never Get could be the name of the song. We got to this point where we were like, that's the name of the record. Like that says everything we need to say, because that's the thing that all of us keep talking about is like we never got like jealous. I'm so jealous, Dave, that that he talked to you within the past 15 years. And I'm so glad you got that. I'm not like actually jealous, but I'm like, there's a part of me that's just, man, why didn't I reach out?
Yeah. I think that's especially something like with Doggett's passing, like
Mhm.
he's somebody that was a friend with everybody. Like if he
Doggett.
learned your name,
Yeah.
you were his friend
Yeah.
from that point on. And like, that's pretty much all there is to it. Like you don't get a say in this.
Yeah.
There's no choice in this. The first time I met Doggett, he helped me load gear into his truck to take to a show. Like my first meeting with him, like, yeah, man, we're gonna go ahead and throw the drums into the back here. I was like, hey, I'm Dave. Like, what? Who are you? He's like, I'm Doggett.
And you're my friend now.
Okay. And yeah, like he moshed hard for us, and like I went to a party with him afterwards. Like, yeah, okay, we're best friends. Cool. After his passing, I was like, I think I need to be a better friend. I want to be a part of that light that's missing in the world. And after seeing the outpouring at his memorial, of just how many people were gathered for like such an amazing person, I don't know. I felt compelled. Like after Keith passed, I was like, he needs something of this level. He needs a gathering like that, like
some kind of
a final show, because like I need his musical ability to be remembered in it's such a bigger way than what we were able to execute back then.
Yeah, dude, I remember after not hearing Dave's voice for 15 years, I remember after Doggett passed, we were talking a little bit, and I remember I sent him like a link to, I was like, hey dude, like I sent you a drum cover or something of like that Killers cover I did, and you were sending me some stuff you were writing, and at this point I hadn't heard his voice yet, and I remember you were just like sending me, I think you sent me the intro to Sleeper Agents.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, do you know what I do there? I do an offbeat on the China, and that ended up like, we ended up doing that, but we were, without realizing it, we were writing, and I was like, oh my god, I missed it. I miss him so much. I think I started sending him voice memos, and I remember when you sent me a voice memo back and I heard your voice, man, it was so emotional. I was just like, wow, yep, good. Let's connect with every single person and get this thing going back. Because for like 2 years, I had been like kind of throwing the idea. I was like, would y'all ever want to like maybe re-record this? Like, I think it's dope. Like, I don't know how y'all feel. But yeah, so I don't know, man. It's a highly emotional thing, but I think that's, to answer your question, that would be my elevator, my very long-winded elevator.
Well, I actually want to dive into that next. When after he passed and you guys had started talking, what was, obviously you kind of mentioned your process early on with it just being kind of raw data, but after that, what was the process like, gathering this album together, writing together, and coming back? How was all that?
Different than it was in 2009, man. This would not have happened without technology. It's the craziest story. So
you guys used AI to fill in the parts that were missing, right?
Not to fill in the okay, so I'll clarify that. It's one of the coolest ways that I've heard of AI being used. But before I go into that, I gotta say, the guy who produced this record, his name's Brett Wasson. Huge shout out to him and Enigma Studio. I think it's Enigma Sounds. I always mix it up. But his first show ever, he was a freshman in high school. It was our Farewell Eternal show, the last show we ever played. And I didn't know this for a long time. And he was like, dude, that was the show that made me want to join a band. And we played with Everyone Dies in Utah at that time. He's now the guitarist in Everyone Dies in Utah, which is
That's crazy.
And dude, so crazy. And so, and Everyone Dies in Utah, those were like our show buddies. We played almost every show with them, and just, I mean, you remember, you were there. And so he was like, for years, like, dude, re-record that shit. Like, I will record it for you. Like, please re-record it. Please re-record it. Like, he kept like, I definitely wouldn't say nagging, because it was always just such an honor that anyone gave a fuck about it. I remember I was like, Brett, like, thank you, man, but like, let's be real. This would be a project for like the 5 of us. Like, no one knows who we are. No one cares. And he was like, nah, dude, like, people actually talk about y'all still, and like at the shows that we play. And I was mind blown. But yeah, getting Brett involved allowed us to start to actually realize and actualize this thing to like the degree that it deserved. But to the AI question, how we implemented it is, the big question was like, dang, we're gonna re-record these songs. Okay, who's gonna sing Keith's parts? Like, it almost wasn't even an option from day one to do anything other than how can we isolate his vocals and reuse them. And so he was like, I've got this software where I can isolate everything but the vocals. I can put a little bit of reverb on the vocals, make them sound really, a little bit more polished, because the original recording was basically us just in a closet. I mean, this one was too, but just us in a closet, like in the middle of like Laredo, Texas, with like no mastering, just like garage style. And so yeah, he was able to use that, and yeah, all of like Keith's voice in those songs are from the original take that was done 15 years ago. So we were able to really actually truly immortalize him, and not just in a digital sense. And the coolest thing is, I remember specifically multiple times Keith would always talk about, like, when back in the day, he'd be like, dude, one day my biggest goal is for us to record and press a vinyl. And to be able for that to be his memorial is, I think about that a lot, about, he's become immortalized now on the thing that he wanted to do the most, and done to a very, very high standard. Like, we did not cut corners. Like, it's 180 gram vinyl. It's got an archive sleeve. Like, we really put everything we had into it. So I think that would be the biggest way it was different, other than us doing it the postal service style, and like everyone being in different states recording and jumping on Discord, and Dave recording some scratch tracks and then sending it through, and then us jumping on and being like, hey man, what if we did this? But Dave, what about you, man? How would you say you felt like it was?
Yeah, once we got Brett in to do production stuff, he made the drum tracks for the original songs.
Mm-hmm.
And he sent those over to me. I went ahead and tracked the guitar parts for those, and then I like Corbett said, I had been writing some stuff before we had all gotten together, so I have some home recording things. So I had written some drum parts and some other guitars for a couple of songs. I'd sent those into the group. But yeah, once we recorded the original songs, I tracked out the new songs, guitars for that, sent it over. We got touch up on drums and got those remade. Then after that, Sam went in and he did his bass parts live in studio with Brett. And then a couple months after that, I flew back to Texas and did 2 days of vocals with Tyler. I think Tyler went back like once or twice.
He went back, I think 2 more times to do some little touch ups. Yeah. It's been great. One thing
it was a really interesting way to do like this hybrid style of a recording session, because I've been used to it with a couple of other friends I have in Discord, that we just send tracks back and forth. Like, we'll just send vocal tracks back and forth to like put on beats and stuff like that.
This was different for me though, because for me, I didn't get to go into a studio and like track on a live kit, which was something that was, I mean,
feels evil.
It does. I was just like, oh, I hate this.
Oh, you use programmed drums. Ew.
I know. I was just like, oh, I hate this. But I wouldn't have want to do it any other way in retrospect for this project specifically. for a few reasons. The first one is it made for a really fun experience, and it was pretty cool being able to go back and instead of retracking an entire song, if I wanted to like, ooh, I should have added some
We
like
just
post notes here.
move that block.
Yeah, you just kind of. But the cool thing, so coming back to the AI technology, is I tracked 3 or 4 of the songs on the record like 15 years ago, and so step one, day one with Brett, which was one of my favorite moments because it had everything to do with the drums, was dialing in drum tones, and we were able to just talk because he has a huge library of pre-recorded real drums. So like tom, floor tom, kick drum. Oh, and I remember asking him like, he was like, "What kit do you want?" I was like, "Ooh, this is fun. Let's go like, I don't know, 24 by 14 kick, 13 by 9 rack, 16 by 16 floor, 18 by 16 floor." And he's like, "I got you. Like, what kind of wood?" I was like, "Oh my god, let's go with a maple kit, 3-ply. What cymbals do you want?" All the way down to like, "Hey, can I get like a 14 by 7.5 bell brass Gretsch snare?" He's like, "Yeah, man, I got you." And like, and then being able to like detune frequencies and just like really make the kit perfect. And once we got that dialed in, I think the most atrocious thing I did, which I'm known for doing some atrocious things, was deciding to have like 18-inch hi-hats, which is just
Yes.
absolutely absurd. Just like huge, just like 2 trash can lids, just nasty. But it sounds
Yo,
good.
I swear by 18-inch hats. They are
Dude, you know what
the best thing.
It's in the mix, not on the mix. It was really great. But the writing was the same thing I did with Dave. Whenever he sent me that very first scratch track, I would play it on a speaker, and then I would be like video myself, and I would like explain what I'm doing, and that's how we wrote a lot of the songs. Like Dave would come up with like a basic like not basic, but the drum parts, and then I would go in and clean them up, add things. You know, some of the songs were like almost perfect. I was barely had to do any work. Other songs I was like, let's gut this part, let's change this. I think the thing that I did the most work on was the old songs.
Yeah. And like honestly, I was writing post-hardcore songs. The last people I was in a post-hardcore band with was Hello Eternal.
Yeah.
So I was just writing it like the last drummer I was in a band with, just fucking Corbett. So like
It worked out.
it was basically like, yeah, dude, I was thinking of how you would play to this if we were
Dude, I
like,
remember
if
you
were
told me
playing
that.
this.
That was like a
Yeah.
huge honor when you told me that. I was like, oh my god, that's thanks. I would
Yeah.
definitely have referenced anyone but me, but thank you. Like,
Yeah. Well, I don't know drummers. Y'all are nerds who make up words about your tone. Hey, I need a snare that's fat but also has the snap to it. Shut up.
Let's get a nice.
Shut up. I hate you.
Kind of
I hate you and the words you're using.
sandpapery, kind of like a beefy bell brass tone. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's.
I need that dodgeball kick.
Yeah,
That is the perfect sound description though.
Yeah,
yeah,
you're
like
not wrong.
it legit sounds like a 6-year-old kid getting hit in the face with a dodgeball.
Yeah.
You know that reverb?
when
Let's get some of that dodgeball reverb in my snare.
Real peeling flesh hours.
Yeah. Exactly.
Pivoting to the writing, what was? I mean, obviously, you guys were going back and using your old stuff, but what was the process like with you guys with the new stuff? Was there a lot of rewriting, or was there some rewriting? Was it a hard process with that, especially?
For the new songs, because of the like digital method of this, like I ended up pretty much writing the structures of the new songs.
Also, you were the only guitarist, and you had huge shoes to fill. So, huge shout out and kudos to you.
Yeah, excuse me, I'm gonna go throw up about it real quick.
Yeah, it was like quite the undertaking to like.
Yeah,
the weight of the world.
I think I did 60 to 70 hours
Probably
of
at least
guitar tracking.
Oof.
Like four different rhythm guitar tracks for every song, plus whatever leads.
Jeez.
So yeah. It was a lot. Yeah, I'm on 9 different songs. 8 songs. 9,
songs, yeah.
8.
That's insane. That's insane to think.
It was a lot. It was a lot going on, and it's a lot of like bump ba da 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 shit. Shit.
Yeah.
It's just constant restarting.
I remember two of the songs, two of the new ones, or there's I guess two brand new songs, brand new.
Yeah.
Because Memory You or
Memory You is weird because like we had that at the end of Winter by Default.
Yeah.
So the first band that me and Tyler and Keith were in.
Technically the oldest song. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was different.
That's back when I was playing bass and it was on main vocals.
But with I remember with South,
and then we brought it back in.
Yeah, I'd say with
for
South and
Eternal.
Sleeper Agents, when you sent me those tracks, they were mostly just like it was kind of
I know Sleeper Agents was just the
Opening
intro bit. It was just that main riff that I was like,
Mhm.
I need to figure out how this is evolving into the next part of it. I think South was pretty much done by the time
South.
I
Yeah,
had written
South
that.
was
Because
pretty
I know South is a song that I've had sitting in my pocket for like years.
Mm.
For years now. The main new thing about it is the main intro, like the first part, the Fear of Suffering. That whole section is new, but once it gets to the really southern riff, that I've had that riff for 10 plus years.
like
Easy.
around right after we broke up, basically. Very, very close. Yeah.
It was shortly after that, I had I had stumbled upon this very southern riff. I was like, oh no, this is a hardcore riff. This isn't like a country riff. This is me being Memphis Mayfire.
Yeah, it is very old
Oh
Memphis.
yeah, old school
Yeah.
Memphis Mayfire. Love that.
Dude,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I remember very vividly one of the Discord chats that Dave and I got on because we were trying to flesh out the structure for Sleeper Agents. And this is before we had a chorus. This is like at this point I was like, this is gonna be something cool, but like could not see really what it was gonna be. And I remember so vividly being on the phone or being on Discord with you, and it was like, man, from here, I feel like we should go into like some kind of just like a bam, 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 and then maybe like something really open with, lots of space with just a beautiful like just lead line kind of going over it, something that like Keith would do. Later that night, and I still have it downloaded on my computer. I get the first full track of that song, and dude, I freaked out, man. I was like, this lead line is perfect. The breakdown going out of it is the nastiest two-step ever. And then there's this beautiful outro that acts as the end of side one or side A before you flip the disc, which goes right into Accounts of the Careless, which is, Keith. And
the ending of Sleeper Agents, that little outro track is the original The Goodbyes We Never Get.
Oh, I didn't.
That's what that song was called to me.
Wow, dude. And there's so many just little nuggets and Easter eggs throughout the record. Songs referencing other songs, like the structure of the set list or of the track list that took us a hot minute. Like we were all over the place on that, but I think it ended correctly. I feel perfectly confident about it. And a fun fact is, well, I'll save it for if we get to like if we're all going to talk about the creative at all.
Well, I mean, obviously, I would love to
don't
go
have
into each song, but I definitely wanted to dive into maybe one or two songs that you guys feel like had the most weight to it. One of the things that you felt like had the most creativity, and one of the things that I think you are probably the most proud of.
I mean, Memory.
The weightiest song is for sure Memory.
Yeah, I know you had quite the experience recording that vocally.
Yeah. Yo, no, yeah, I full cried.
Yeah, you cried
in the booth on that one. I'll be very frank here. Memory of You was me trying my best to do a Counterparts ripoff.
Really?
100%. Do you not hear it?
Oh, you mean on the?
Yeah. The fast part. It's a melodic hardcore song. Like, yeah. That's just a Counterparts ripoff. 100%.
I hear it a little bit now, but I never would have thought that actually.
Yeah. Honestly, The Goodbyes We Never Get is me doing my own version of A Eulogy for Those Still Here.
Well, it sounds like we went through something kind of similar.
Yeah.
I
mean, his cat died. It's the same thing.
Is that really? Oh my god, that's so sad.
Yeah. Do you, Corbett? I'm going to take a whole pause here. Corbett, do you not know that's what Whispers of Your Death is about?
No.
Yeah, that's about his cat.
Yeah,
thought it was
the
about a
line,
person.
like, it's hard.
Yeah, begging
to-
from the floor as I stare in the face of starvation, sacrifice myself to secure your safety.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
yeah, but
emotional
also
aspect.
it's
just
hard to breathe without you sleeping on my
chest. Yeah.
sick and withering from the whispers of your death. Forever your savior as much as you were mine, and for that I promise to protect you until the day you die.
I get it.
God.
Live now, he says, and I promise to remember you until the day I die.
Oh my God, that is destroying me right now.
Oh,
No, because that's not even the line that destroys you. You want the line that destroys you?
Please.
Make your cancer mine. Like,
Jesus.
fuck.
Dude.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Leading into that nasty breakdown.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
wow.
That's a heavy, emotionally weighty song. But to get back to memory, sorry.
As
No, I mean,
a lyricist,
huge
as a,
sidestep here.
as a poet, like that speaks to me. And knowing that it's about his cat, I think it makes it
Oh.
more impactful.
Dog, I
Like-
can't wait for you to dive into Counterparts. Like, the difference between Hell and Home is a magical album.
Oh, I'm well aware. I love Counterparts.
Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, no, that I really think like he's one of the most beautiful writers in hardcore, like since Keith Buckley
Yeah.
from
Well,
like Every Time I Die.
Dude, I don't know.
R.I.P..
When I look at the lyrics, I have them pulled up right here for memory. I can't, dude. I can't actually. Can't even say them without crying. The past few times, it comes in waves, dude. Like my parents came and visited, and I played it for them. But before, 'cause they're not gonna be able to understand all the screaming, I was like, let me read the lyrics to you first. And can I read these real quick? Is it because if there's
Please.
something I feel like is worth like reading,
Go for it.
I feel like these lyrics, especially having the context of the history of everything. So this is Memory of You. Okay. So I've had my regrets and words I left unsaid, the goodbyes that we never get. Months and years on end since love left unexpressed. I just don't want to forget. I was ending it all ahead of the hurt that I first saw. It's a piece of my history that tears me apart. I was ending it all. I carved out my heart and I left it in the cold, the dark. Promises from crowns I put on my own head. How twisted I made it when I should have served instead. How do I make amends with communications downed, signaling for help before I drown? It's enough. I'm losing too many friends and I'm not home. I have grief where there used to be love, and it just hurts so much. Spending my life looking the wrong way, missing the point. I have grief where there used to be love. I know that we all go, but I didn't know that I would miss you this much. I have grief where there used to be love. I have grief where there used to be love.
Jeez.
And David wrote that, and it's enough. I'm losing too many friends and I'm not home. That is because that hits different, I think, for me and Dave, and my brother now, because he moved up to Washington. But like when this all happened, we were across the country. I couldn't go to Keith's funeral. I couldn't go to Doggett's funeral. Dave just went to Doggett's funeral. Like, how are you gonna be able to go back to back? Like,
Yeah,
There's
to
the-
do back-to-back trips to Texas, like it wasn't.
it was not
feasible.
impossible. Yeah, and so it's just like, yeah. So I think that's probably, to me, that is the heaviest, most important song on the album. That is like, if you need to like understand this record, listen to that song. And then the other one that's, I would say, is like really in that same space is The Recital for me. And I think a lot of it is because of the compassion that I have for my brother, obviously, as you know, him being my blood, and him and Keith had some things left unsaid that he didn't really get the closure on that he needed. And we reworked some of the lyrics in The Recital to relate more, because like Accounts of the Careless goes straight into The Recital, and Accounts of the Careless is all about, you know, it's kind of haunting hearing Keith singing, "For my last wish, I'll ask you to give me back the time that it took me to realize that this is all I have left." And it's the clocks keep running, you know, and then it goes right into Faith or the recital, which is now opens. We updated it, and I never thought that the clock would would stop today. So it starts right off with like the news that Keith passed, and repurposing that all of the lyrics in that song was kind of a interesting task, but it felt appropriate. And when you know, every single piece of this record has a very important the order matters. Like my biggest ask is listen to the whole thing and read the lyrics when you do. Like if someone has the ability to jam this out rather than jamming one song, sit down, read the lyrics, and just listen to the whole thing. I know it's a big ask, but that's it.
That's how I
though.
listen to every album that I have any interest in.
I mean, even if it doesn't come to our album, please listen to full albums.
Yeah, honestly, like listen to full albums.
Artists put a lot of work into full albums, and singles are cool, but man, full albums are really good.
Full albums. Yeah,
Order
we
matters.
didn't approach this with a single mindset at all. This is all for Keith, and it all had to work together. And there's an Ouroboros snake eating itself on the cover, and that is very much, you know, this album. I mean, the beginning of the first song, it's got this crackle, and Dave you recorded Faith and Fiction into Passage of Time, and then we made Passage of Time the first song and Faith and Fiction the last song. So in theory, if this album were to just be on an endless loop, it would just go back into itself, which is kind of a sonic representation of, you know, regeneration, rebirth, death, decay, all the painful things that we have to come to face with in this life. And that's ultimately, I think, what this record is about. And what's the worst thing about it is that a lot of times there is that element of like, there are goodbyes you never get to have. And so this is, I think, not just a record for Keith, but it's a record for anyone who's ever lost anyone that they love that they didn't get to say goodbye to. And that's pretty much everyone, you know, as a human, part of the experience.
Yeah, speaking about your previous recording experiences, Faith and Fiction is probably my favorite song you guys have ever done.
Oh man,
that makes me really happy to hear.
That's one of our old ones.
Yeah, well, honestly, like the lyrics to that one really spoke to me because again, your farewell was like 2010,
I think it's January 2010.
Yeah,
was it 2010?
It was. Okay. So one of my best friends from high school passed away, and it was right after she had died that y'all did that farewell tour, or I guess farewell show, and I like broke down crying because of that line. As hope hangs from the back of her neck, she knows she's not alone in this fight. And like hearing that at that time was life altering. And knowing that like personal friends of mine wrote that, it was like y'all knew what I was going through. And I know you wrote it like years before that, but still like it really spoke to me. And knowing that that's like the final track on this album as well is like,
That's wow.
You know, that's I remember it was after one of our Gatesville shows. We had a comment on our MySpace page.
There you go.
That was just from one of the people from the show, and she had just quoted that line, and she just said, "Thank you for this."
Wow.
And I was like, "Okay, cool. I think we actually wrote something that might be really meaningful."
Mm-hmm.
And now, like, the aspect of throughout this whole process, I've been in contact with Keith's his wife, to make sure that like, hey, we're not stepping on any toes. The main thing that like I was like, hey, we want to do this for our friend. I know grief is a weird thing, and if there's any part of you that doesn't feel okay with this, like, we'll stop the whole project right now. And she was like, no, he would love this. Like, please do this. So now Faith and Fiction to me is for her.
Yep.
And like that's
and
all representative of Alex now.
Hell yeah.
And it's like a part of me, and it's like, okay, so in the same way that's like Doggett had a whole community that came to be there for Brandy, and whenever she was carrying a child, like, so it's like, okay, so that's what this is. Yep. This is not being alone in this in whatever way I can. And like I don't know who you are, but like I love the person you loved. Like, and we share that, and I want to give you something for that.
That's it, dude. Like, because like none of us. I met her once, very briefly, and it was the last time I saw Keith, and I'm so grateful for that memory. We were actually playing a show together, and it was for Sam. He was doing something totally different. It was like a year or two after. It was like 2.5 years after Hello Eternal broke up, and I met her very briefly, and I was like, she's cool, and that was the last time I saw her. So I don't know her, but to the same point you just made, Dave, it's like the person that you love was one of my best friends, and I loved him, and we will move heaven and earth to do anything we can to even ease the burden for a moment. And that's the reason we've been working on this very early in the process. Very, very early. We were like, man, it would be cool to do vinyls. That's a pipe dream. But if we do, 100% of the proceeds have to go to Keith's, widow and his boys, his young boys that we've never even met. But I feel like from a distance, we're just like trying to do everything we can.
My dad passed away in 2021, and my brother like took care of all the estate stuff that came with it, and like seeing that process go through, like that was like one of the number one things. It's like, I know we're like getting to you a year after the fact and everything, but like you deal with someone's passing like financially for the next 3 years. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's so crazy that you have to go through so much, like, to let go of something, like it's so weird. I'm eternally grateful for Alex and how graceful she is, and how kind she's been to us. One of the most understanding, like one of the first things she messaged me was like, hey, grief is a motherfucker, and I know this does weird stuff to all of us, so thank you for everything that you're doing, and thank you for like giving me a heads up and everything. It was like, totally agree. Like I couldn't agree with you more. Yeah. Grief fucking sucks.
One thing that she said that blew my mind, which I think is, I just like sent her a message, but like very briefly, just after you had touched base with her, I sent her a message to just, I was like, I felt weird. I was like, do I reach out? Like, she doesn't know me. I don't want to like, I don't know I don't know what the rules are for this. There are no rules. There's no playbook. When I finally reached out to her and hey, this is all for Keith, and like I didn't want to say anything for a little while because I want to give you space. I remember talking to her about what the project was and what it entailed, and I remember her reaction. And this says so much about her character, rather than just dude, her reaction was checking in on us. She was like, oh my God, are y'all okay? That must have been, this sounds like it's probably a very emotional experience for you. How are you guys doing? And I'm like, well, yeah, it's emotional, but no. We're fine. We're fine. Like,
those
how
are
you?
the best people.
Yeah.
The
Dude,
ones that
she's
like,
one of them.
that they're the ones that you would expect to be experiencing the biggest amount of loss, and they're checking on other people.
Yeah, she was like, that process sounds like it probably would be really difficult for you all. Are y'all okay?
Yeah,
that is.
I don't know Alex, but I love her.
Yeah,
no, she's awesome.
Amazing.
Like all the conversations I've had with her so far, really cool.
Yeah. So if anyone listening wants to support her, we have 50 copies of this, and all the proceeds are going to her. Shameless plug.
Yeah.
Because it is for a good cause.
That'll be my Wreck and Rev next time.
Yeah.
And probably for like the next 5.
Oh no, I didn't recommend my own album. Oh God, what am I?
Well, guys, I
didn't plug myself, guys.
Listen, while we're doing this Wreck and Rev with Corbett and Dave on our show, I don't know if you guys have heard of Hello Eternal.
Oh my God, can you imagine?
Well, hey, I wanted to, as we're getting close on time here, I wanted to kind of wrap this up as a kind of outward observer here. You know, Corbett, I know you for a long time. I've known Sam for a long time. I was really jealous that Sam got plugged into this band. That was really awesome and cool, but also I wasn't that cool anyway, so it wasn't a big deal, but also kind of a big deal. But also, because he was a bass player in our jazz band too, so I knew that he was going off and doing that shit. I was like, oh man, that's fucking awesome. Cool, great. And
I invited you to the shows. We tried to start our own band. It didn't work out.
It didn't work out.
Goodbye, Eternal.
It's goodbye, temporary.
I say all that to say that I'm just I've experienced just a little bit of you guys and the whole experience, and I know that Chris and Janelle have a deeper connection with that, and so they can have their own. I'm sure they have their own story with that, but I wanted to just share too, just me listening to this story and knowing just a little bit about Keith and about you guys listening to this album and reading as you wanted and intended, reading along with the lyrics. It is so impactful and it is so meaningful, and even this is not even the genre that I'm usually into, but this is the kind of, because of how the lyrics are and because of the heart and the effort and the as I think someone put with Keith, is his ambition and his dedication towards the music itself. I think that resonates in the whole experience.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to, as kind of like a last consider it a plug, consider it a last word, a last goodbye to this interview. What have you gained? What have you learned? What have you experienced while reuniting and coming back into this world? What have you gained from this?
My hourly session rate has gone up. That's the number one thing I did. I was like, yeah, we're gonna have to bump that number up after this. Like,
definitely not charging enough.
It's the one like selfish thing that I really took out of the project, where I was just like, bro, I just did so much guitar tracking that like I'm gonna start turning this machine on at some point. But yeah, I think like that has been one. Now that we're done and like fully released, I've been carrying a large stone for the last year. That's I'm very grateful to be in a place where I'm okay enough to put it down, or it's small enough to fit in my pocket, I guess.
Yeah.
Is maybe more the realer sentiment, is that it's a lot easier to carry right now. And it's like I was worried that like I was gonna like be a mess about like the actual release. And I'll tell you what, like packing together like the first 30 or so vinyl, there was a couple of people that I was just breaking down while I'm like writing a thank you note to put inside the slip and stuff. But really the number one thing that I'm most grateful for is to regain a lot of these memories. Being able to get these videos, photos from the live shows, to get the flyers from Art Ambush again, like to get those files, like that's a lot of stuff that I didn't realize in the time meant so much. And like I was like, oh, it was just a band I was in, I can throw this demo away. And it's like, no, I really wanted to keep that, and it took time and space and distance for me to actually understand that better, So I'm just glad to have at least some of these memories back in a really, I like stuff from the photos that Melly gave us, that like I forgot that we did a stage run in on on Everyone Dies in Utah.
Maybe like
completely forgot about that.
Me too, man.
Yeah, but like as soon as I saw the pictures, I was like, right, okay, no, I totally remember that now.
Man,
how about you, Corbett?
Yeah, no, what I've gained, man, I feel like I've gained everything back, man. I feel like I have gained the world almost. But Keith is missing. And so like for the past 15 years, the way I've been kind of explaining it, it's just, dude, it's felt like I've like it felt like I lost a limb, man. Like something, I felt I lost a very deep part of myself. You knew me. You're like, well, most of y'all on the call knew me at that age, and like my whole world was drumming, and you know, in particular in this counterculture with like-minded people, and then when it ended the way it ended, right as I was leaving high school, and it was like, oh shit, okay, I guess, whoa, okay, I guess we're pivoting, and we'll figure it out. And going through 15 years of trying to redefine why it's okay that things are different, and why, just really just honestly processing the trauma of not to sound dramatic, but of like the breakup. And the biggest trauma involved in that was like me and my best friend stopped talking
Right.
for 15 years. Like, we stopped talking, like hard stop. And so I feel like just being on good terms with everyone, being in a group text with everyone, um, you know, riffing and shitting on each other, and everyone being emotionally stable enough to be able to roll with those punches, i.e., not being like 17 years old, has been great. But oh man, it's really it's painful though, because I over the years I've yeah, I mean, I did the creative direction on this, and that was a huge undertaking as well, because we really took it seriously, and like everyone, we all took it very seriously in terms of like it was not a lone me thing. It was like anything I did, I would send off to everyone. We have to get full consensus, full buy-in. Does everyone dig this? And iterate on it. And those iterations last. I mean, that was like a 7-month process of iterating on things because of how much it mattered. And so similar to kind of what Dave was saying, as far as like, kind of like the selfish, like putting, if there is a feather to put in my hat, I would say being involved in that and being able to help realize it and tell a story visually and using imagery that has a meaning, and hopefully it resonates with people, like that was all deeply cathartic. But having a high quality vinyl that I can hold in my hands, it's so bittersweet, because every single time I open it up, I see the one of one record, 180 grams. I put it on, I listen, and I'm just like, dude, I gotta text the guys. Like, I'm still so giddy, and it just hurts every single time I open up the thread and I see that Keith isn't in it, and I'm just like, fuck, dude. There's a part of me that just wants to like, it almost hurts so bad I don't even want to listen to it, but it also is like my most listened to. I'm always listening to it, and it's because it's how I remember Keith the best, and it's how I remember these memories with each other, that over the past year, it's like this helped us grieve. This helped us process the grief. We had each other again. Like the day that Keith passed, or the day that we found out that he passed, we were immediately like, well, we have to do this now. We have to do this now. And we've pretty much been talking almost daily for like the past year. The contrast of that and not talking at all for 15 years has been deeply healing, I think, for all of us. And in that, we've been able to talk about some of those things that were left unsaid. And we finally gotten answers for things like, oh, I thought you were mad at me for this. Oh, I did that. Oh my God, I'm such a dumbass. I'm so sorry. Like, I did not mean that. And like, so I think for me, like, it's kind of like I got some time back,
It's cathartic.
but at a cost that I'd rather Keith be here and not have been able to do any of this.
There's a sincere part of me that's like, I would have rather have messaged Keith and been like, hey man, we're all thinking about wanting to redo the album, like what do you think? And he'd be like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I would give that for him to still be here
for sure.
any day of the week. Like, as much as I'm proud of the work that we did, I would throw it all away. I would chuck it in the fucking garbage immediately if it meant I just got to message him every now and then, be like, hey dude, look at this guitar riff.
Yeah.
It's it fucking sucks.
It sucks, dude. And it's been almost a year. What is it, on the 5th? Is that
on the 10th?
On the 10th,
April 10th.
Coming up on a year of him passing, and yeah, it does suck, man.
The 8th.
The 8th.
It was announced on the 10th.
Yeah. But
I'm having a bad time remembering the dates of the
no,
stages
yeah.
that happened.
Well, on a slightly lighter note, the album artwork for this one much better than the CD release you guys did.
The one without artwork, thank you.
Yeah, the one where we
The
just
one where it
wrote
was
the
like,
name
Hello
on the
Eternal.
top.
EP, thanks.
Hello Eternal. I still have that CD, by the way.
Dude, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
We are
Dude,
desperately looking for the Winner by Default EP. If anyone knows anyone that has that, by the way,
so, dude, I can reach
I'm
out.
just gonna put that out to y'all real quick.
Hey,
Yeah.
we'll post it
Use
on the
your powers.
Facebook.
Well, hey guys, I wanted to say one last thing before we end this thing. I think, again, I don't know who Keith is, but based off what you guys have talked about and how you describe him, I think he'd be proud of what you guys have created here. And I think, just let me say on my behalf, thank you guys for creating this, because as I said, just reading the lyrics, you don't have to listen to the music, but just hearing everything and seeing everything that you guys have put into this, it shows the love that you guys have for one another now resurfaced, and also everything from 15 years ago. And so on behalf of all of us here, thank you guys so much for creating this and for allowing this, unfortunately, this tragedy to rebirth in a way and to create something beautiful in it. And so I want to say thank you guys, and I really appreciate it. Is there any other final last words or any final things before we go that you would like to share with our followers?
Hug your friends as
Oh,
often as you can.
Yep. Text them. Don't let the things go unsaid, because it's not worth it. And yeah, that's what I
And
would.
thank you guys for letting us come on here. And
Yeah,
talk about
thanks.
this.
Seriously, man. You guys,
I really appreciate it.
I know I'm a reoccurring regular. Not a big deal. By the way, you know my rate.
Yeah, first time, long time, guys.
Long time
it's always
listener,
an honor.
first time guest.
Thanks for putting up with our tomfoolery. And also, I know this was like not chill, and it was not light, and it was like deep. So thanks for anyone who's listening 2 hours deep into this. Oh wow, go listen to the album and consider picking up a coffee. Like I said, we have 50, and like 100% of that 100% of that revenue is going straight back to Pete's family, to Alex. And so I think that's the thing I would love to leave it on.
Yeah. I'm going to end a little bit differently, guys. I'm not going to do our normal outro, but for just as we end this, Dave and Corbett, would you guys mind sharing your stuff, where we can find you, but also where we can, obviously I'm going to link it into the pod and everything, but just in case they can't get to it, where they can find this and to definitely give.
Yeah. You can find the vinyl on helloeternal.bandcamp.com. You can find the album, The Goodbyes We Never Get, on all streaming services, Apple Music, Spotify, Deezer, Tidal, whatever you use. I have solo music available under DK Thunda, THUNDAH. You can find me on Instagram, not posting.
Same.
You can see me putting up a gym selfie once every 2 weeks.
My boys looking.
That's not how often I go to the gym. I go way more than that. I just don't care to let you know how sexy I'm getting.
Right.
That's my business, not yours.
Except for twice a week.
Except for once every other week. You might find out that I have like a hint of a six pack, but it's not really there because it's still 18% body fat. Ooh.
Amazing. My social at Corbett CORBETTOH, as in Corbett. Oh, that's what I had in mind when I did that, to show how long I. Yeah, Corbett.
That makes so much sense.
We know.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's my.
Can we get everyone's best bleh real quick?
Oh, God.
Bleh.
One
at a time. Tim, let's hear you, man.
Oh, no.
Your best blood.
We'll put it on the Patreon.
That's good.
Kill it. Chris, you just did a good one, but can you hit me one more for posterity?
Oh, that was
Pretty
great,
sick.
man.
Okay. Janelle.
I practiced.
No.
That was a good one.
Hard. Okay, cool. Harley.
Bleh, bleh, bleh.
Ooh.
Dick.
Got
Oh, that would be
Hotel
like really good, like-
Transylvania.
Right before a wall of death. Yeah,
I just, got it. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
Hell
no,
yeah.
Ellie would love that one.
excellent call out.
What's your rate? We can
Right.
definitely get you on a song.
Too easy.
Gotta get Ellie on there too.
Just-
It's her favorite
Yeah.
line.
Justin.
Oh,
That was good. That was good. That was like a elder millennial play. Like, dude,
did the
I had a
pause,
long
too.
day.
I would give you a proper one, but I'm in a duplex and I'm on the bottom, and my neighbor might wake up from.
Yeah, it's just a play.
That was
Yeah.
more like the millennial re-release of Dear Maria, Count Me In. Instead of that,
Oh,
it's just
God.
like, ugh.
All right. Well, hey, guys, thank you all again for listening. Guys, thank you again, Dave and Corbett, for joining us. We love you guys. Thank you so much. We appreciate you and your story. Thank you guys all again for listening to this podcast. Be sure to subscribe. Make sure you guys go find these guys on all these things they mentioned. Make sure you go buy the album, the record. Guys, I have it right in front of me. It is absolutely gorgeous. It's beautiful, and it means a lot to the people involved. So, guys, make sure you guys go do that. Thank you for listening. Thanks for being part of the conversation. And remember, there's always more than this. Bye, everyone.
There's always more.
Bye.
Bye.
There's always more. There's always more. Yep. Yeah. The music means the episode's over.